Activists and council members announced today a major step in their efforts to end all future contracts with the private prison company CoreCivic. And the sheriff of Davidson County is giving his endorsement to this adjustment here. Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley found out how it's become a reignited part of the civil rights movement.
Black Lives Matter!
The next battleground for activists
I stand here as a descendant of chattel slavery.
Is moving from city streets to prison grounds.
We're not here just to fight for symbolism. We're here to fight against systems.
That fight is against CoreCivic, the private company running the Metro Detention Center in South Nashville. Standing alongside activists, two council members announced today Metro legislation that severs all ties with private prisons and would put control of the center in the hands of the sheriff's department.
We're seeing right now the largest civil unrest since the 60s, and a lot of that has to do with the incarceration.
Using the backdrop of recent protests, council members criticize businesses that profit off incarceration for ultimately seeking to lengthen prison sentences and oppress already disadvantaged populations. Sheriff Hall confirming the same mindset in this statement, reading, "It's important to point out this change would be a philosophical one, not performance-based. It would mean a heavy financial blow for CoreCivic, which earns $18 million a year to operate the facility." CoreCivic released a statement criticizing the council members for pushing an agenda that's free of facts and ideologically driven. The proposed action would not only result in millions of dollars in increased liabilities to the Metro budget and taxpayers, but it would also potentially jeopardize the life-changing re-entry programming. But because state inmates are housed here, council members say a new analysis shows that the sheriff's office could be reimbursed with state funds with minimal cost to the city, instead of that money going to CoreCivic. A long-time debate reignited in an era of demand for reform. Jeremy Finley, News 4 Investigates.
Now, the Metro bill calls for cutting ties with private prisons in 2 years. The sheriff's office says if it passes, it will give enough time for a smooth transition from CoreCivic to his office.